everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be a bit different than what I normally do. I basically just want to go through some of my all-time favorite pages in my journals. Basically, I flipped through 3 of my journals here and literally tabbed all of my favorite pages and just pages that are really special and that I love, and I'm going to show you guys them, talk about them. A big reason why I even want to go through these pages is because I've been in a really big creative slump with my journal, and I feel like looking at my old pages is going to help re-inspire me and kind of give me some new ideas, I hope. I of course have flip throughs of these journals on my channel, but I think it'll be really fun to single out my favorite pages and talk about them with you guys. I think I'm going to go in like reverse chronological order, so start with my oldest journal and then end up at my current journal. So starting with this journal, as you can see, it's covered in all these fun stickers and it's kind of a mix of years. I want to say I started this in 2020 and actually only finished it in like 2023, I want to say. But this started as a bullet journal for me because that's kind of how I got into journaling in the first place. But there are some really fun like scrapbooky type of pages in between the planning pages, and most of those are focused on media, so books, music, movies, stuff like that. But the first page I have tabbed here is a little reading journal spread about the Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. This page is so special to me because it's one of my first like intense pages that I did in my journal that wasn't a bullet journal page. Especially love the little French door that I did right here. I actually recently had someone ask me about doing a French door in my journal, and it reminded me a lot of this page. I really want to start doing these again in my journal. They just add a lot of dimension to the page. I did a little title page with some stickers and collaging on this side, and then of course the little French door is filled with my favorite quotes from the book, and then on the right side I wrote all about the plot and then continued with my quotations that I loved. This is mostly special to me because, like I said, it was one of my first pages where I was doing this style of journaling, so although it's not my favorite page looks wise, it has like a special place in my heart. Next we have another media type of page. This is a little Taylor Swift inspired page, so I did one side for Folklore and then the other side for Lover. I actually tried to do some of her other albums throughout this journal as well, but these two are definitely my favorite, especially because Folklore is my favorite album of hers and I just love the whole aesthetic of it, so it was really fun to kind of put that into a journal page. For some reason, having these two side by side is one of my favorite pages. Another media page, like I said, that was mostly what I was doing in this journal, but we have a little aesthetic page for Chestnut Springs, which is a romance book series by Elsie Silver, and I basically just found some photos on Pinterest and collaged them onto the page. I remember wanting to focus this mostly on like talking about the book, so of course did a lot of writing here, which is fun because I don't do that really in my journals anymore, so I love looking back on this and I like how I used the white gel pen over the little black collage piece here. Then we have this page, which is actually the first page that I did with actual like personal photos of my own. It was at the end of my like June bullet journal theme, and so I decided to do a little photo dump, which of course I do in my journal a bunch now, so it's just cool that this is the first one that I did. And then on the right side I just did like a TBR that I had that month, I guess. So this is another like sentimental one. I obviously do this type of layering a lot, so I feel like that's not super special, but just the fact that this was my very first kind of photo dumpy page in this style of journaling was really cool. Okay, and then last one in this journal is actually my like yearly recap page that I did, where I collaged all of my favorite media for the month. So we have my favorite shows, books, albums, and movies. What's special about this page to me is that it was my first time using the ransom letters or magazine letters, whatever you want to call them. And if you guys don't know, that's like my favorite way to apply text in my journals now. And also just the general collaging style of this page is something that I continue to do in my future journals, although there is a blank spot here. I meant to put the cover for Priscilla and I didn't. I wonder if I should go back and put that in there. But that is everything for this first journal, and the second one is where I definitely have the most favorite pages. This is my journal from 2024, and the first set of pages here once again uses those like ransom sticker letters that I had in the previous spread. That's why I love this one, and also once again the collaging is just really like the start of this style that I did throughout this journal and I'm still doing doing today. I love this little Clara Bow Tortured Poets Department aesthetic page that I did as well. It's basically just the beginning of all the fun layering that I started to do in my journaling. I feel like when I started doing this style of journaling, I was kind of aggressive with the layering. I feel like you can especially tell with this page here because there's a book page, music sheet, and then also this like pattern wallpaper, scrapbook paper that I used as the background, and then everything layered on top. It was just a lot, but I feel like this is what really brought creativity into my pages because I could find fun and different ways to layer everything. So even though sometimes it can be a little bit overwhelming to have so many things on one page, I feel like this is how I was able to be creative in my journal, and looking at this now, it's definitely something that I want to do more of. Next up, we also have another like 2 pages as one spread type of page. We have a little photo dump here where I put all of my favorite pictures from the first half of the month. We have a receipt, some book pages as the background, of course, and I just thought that the layering of this one was fun. And then for this page, I did a current favorites where I layered up a bunch of photos that I'd recently saved on Pinterest, and then a picture of myself as well. And I just remember having so much fun like figuring out how to layer up the pictures and add the text and stuff like that. And then also just doing current favorite pages are always the best because I can document what I was loving at that time and then look back on it and see how my interests have changed. And then next up we have this, which is definitely more of a junk journal type of page. So on the left, I collaged a bunch of photos from a little hike that I went on, and what I love especially about this page is the little sea life stickers that I used. I actually remember getting this fun sticker pack the same day, and I thought it would be really fun to just do a random collage with the stickers. These are those like classic 90s Woody's stickers that I don't really use in my journal so often, so it was really fun to play around with that and kind of create this like bluey green color scheme. And then on the right side, I literally just stuck down a bunch of random like junk that I collected, so tickets, receipts, tags, etc. And I just think that both of these pages are so different, but they complement each other really well, which is fun. Then we have a vision board. So this one was like my summer vision board that I had. I was really obsessed with Charlie XCX and Brett at that time especially, so of course I had to kind of find some photos for that. And then I also was planning a Europe trip that same summer, so I picked out some photos that would represent that. I love the color scheme of this, especially it's very like gray and gloomy. The leopard print in the background here is so much fun, and the pops of green as well. I just love this page. Once again, it's extremely busy and crazy, especially in comparison to my journaling style now, which is definitely on the simpler side. So I love looking back at these pages and seeing how my style has evolved, and I feel like looking at this and the previous pages is really inspiring me to do more layering and collaging and just kind of be more messy with my journal, I guess. This set of pages here was a little Pinterest inspired thing that I did, so I just collaged some of my current wish list items that I had, and then on this side I did a like travel bucket list, which was really fun. All of these photos are from Pinterest. Once again, I really like the color scheme of this because it's something that I don't do often in my journal. It's like muted pastel tones, and I feel like all of the colors really complement each other. Speaking of traveling, the next page here is one that I did for when I went to Brussels. This one was really fun. All of my like Europe summer pages kind of have this same style and vibe to them. Really inspired by Martina's Tiny Store stickers that I got. I feel like the vibe of those stickers really helps me put together these spreads. And what's really special about this page and a lot of the other pages in my journal is the mix of photos and ephemera together. I love using photos and ephemera in my journal separately, of course, but putting them together just gives a completely different vibe, and it's especially perfect for like documenting specific moments and memories in your journal. We have a postcard, of course, and then this little label here which I took from the like wet white packet, and then also a train ticket, and then a photo booth strip. Just literally all my favorite types of ephemera to collect I fit into here, as well as some of my favorite pictures that I took. I just feel like this came out very cutesy, and I love the color scheme of it as well, so this is definitely one of my all-time favorite spreads that I've ever done. Next up, we have a monthly recap spread. I love doing monthly recap spreads in my journals. Basically in these, I like to collect all of my favorite photos that I took that month, as well as my playlist of the month and whatever books I read or media that I consumed. I try to collage it all together to make one spread, and this is the one that I did for September, of course. I love putting my playlist onto a Receiptify graphic like this and then doing little doodles on top of it as well. What's cool about this one is I decided to write all of the books that I read for the month on this little library card PNG template that I found on Pinterest, which was super fun. And then something else that I love doing in my journals is taking whatever photos I have and adding them to a Canva template. So they're often like Polaroid frames or film strip frames like this that you can find for free on Canva, and I'll just put my photos into it and see what I can come up with. And I feel like it just adds a little extra something to your page. So if you didn't go to a photo booth that month, or if you don't have a Polaroid or whatever, you can still add a fun frame or design to your pictures to elevate them. And just the overall fall theme of this page was really cool to do. This set of pages is also kind of random but super fun. So on the left side, I basically just collaged some thrifted books that I got for my journal specifically. So there was some like recipe books that I got these two from, and then the background was a music sheet book that I picked up, and then I stuck in the receipt from the 3 books at the bottom here, which is cool. And then on the right side here, I did another current favorites page. Like I mentioned, I love doing these, but what's especially cool about this one is that I had the idea to collage the pictures on a cork board. So I literally just printed out a PNG image of a cork board, put the pictures onto it, and then use little push pin elements as well to make it look like it stuck on there. So this one is very special to me because it is a creative idea that I had that I was able to put onto the page, which always just is the best feeling. And I definitely want to do more unique layouts like this in the future. So looking back at this is always inspiring to me. And the last page I have to show you guys in this journal is one of my like yearly recap spreads that I did. So for this one, I decided to collage all of my favorite events that happened in 2024 onto a pool table. This was definitely one of my more random ideas that I had, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. I did a video where I like walked through the whole process of this page, but I especially love how I did the 2024 little numbers there. And similar to the corkboard, it's just so fun to have a creative idea like that and actually be able to execute it in a way that you like on the page. So that is my favorite pages in my 2024 journal, and I actually just have one last page to show you guys, which is in my 2025 journal. I've only done maybe like 15-ish pages in this journal so far, so because of that, we only have one. I do love a lot of the other pages in here, but if I had to pick a favorite, it would definitely be this one. I made this in my previous video, but it is a vibes I bring to the function page, which was inspired by a post that I saw on Instagram, and I just am obsessed with this. I went on and on about how much I loved this page in that video. Like I said, I love doing current favorite pages, and I feel like this kind of has the same vibe, except it's like my all-time favorites and just all the things that represent me. And just the way that I collaged and layered up everything on this page was so much fun to do, and I love the way that it looks. It definitely inspired me to do more pages with this type of like spread out collaging style with no background. So yeah, that's my first favorite page of 2025. Hopefully we'll have more. I'm already really liking my new style of journaling that I've started in 2025, and definitely looking through these pages helped me get a feel for what I like and what I don't like with my journal pages. So I'm definitely slowly starting to feel my creative spark coming back, and I hope seeing these pages inspired you guys for your own journal. If you guys ever want more journaling inspo from me or curious on how my recent pages have been looking in my journal, you can follow me on my TikTok and my Instagram. And of course, I post some fun journaling videos on here where I show my in-depth process of creating some pages if you're interested in that. But thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and I will see you in my next one.